And Chand, I have another question. So, who really benefits here, you think? Big tech, senior hires, or can entry level grads, still get in?
I definitely think the big techs are going to be losing out. The reason is a lot of big tech companies like Meta, Amazon, all these companies, they do hire people fresh out of college, and the wage data that every company is paying, the LCA data, it's in the public database because all the LCAs are out there in the public. So anybody, like if you want to go and see how much Google is paying their H1B employees, that data is out there. So when you look at even the big tech companies, if you look at the salaries they're giving, the wage levels, I mean, they don't always give wage level 4. They hire a lot of people fresh out of college, people with master's degree, fresh out of college, no experience, but potentially good hires because they have a very, very good solid education. And but in terms of who's going to lose out, I think entry level grads definitely, I think, will be at a disadvantage. The reason is when you're fresh out of college, even big tech companies are paying lower wage levels, wage level 1, wage level 2, more than likely. And when they're going towards a wage based system, what is going to happen is people with a lot of experience. Okay, so probably people who are abroad, who are working abroad, not even been in the country, but they have experience. So those people are the ones probably will be at a high wage level. So I think in terms of who's going to lose out, I think entry level grads, people with fresh out of college with a bachelor's degree or with a master's degree, I think are going to lose out because when you don't have experience, you're probably not at wage level 3 or wage level 4. And that means that highly educated people with no experience are going to lose out. And the big tech companies, what happens is they hire senior employees, they also hire junior employees fresh out of college. So I think even the large tech companies will probably have a lot of issues, which is why I think once the draft is published out there, I think all this will come out. The big tech companies will start putting their comments. I think the small companies will start putting their comments because you also have a lot of startups. When you have a startup, they want people, I mean, they don't really have resources to hire very, very senior level employees. So I think startups will lose out, fresh entry level grads will lose out. I think even the large tech companies who are wanting to hire fresh graduates, they're going to lose out. So I think as a whole, I see people with less experience going to have a lot of problems getting through the lottery, which means these young graduates, they are highly qualified, they are highly successful people academically because they're just out of college. But now I think US definitely risks losing all these fresh graduates who don't have a lot of experience if they go with this pure wage level based system.
Right, Chand. Thank you so much for taking that up and for the detailed explanation. And I'm so happy to tell you that we actually have our first caller for today's session, and it's Hari from Chicago. Hi, Hari. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, hi, Nipak. Hi, Sam. Thank you
Hey,
for the
Hari.
call. Can I go ahead with my question?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll just give you a little background. In 2020 October, I submitted my 485. At the time of submission, I just provided only the birth certificate as I don't have the birth certificate registered. In 2022, I got the RFE. At the time, I got only RFE for medical. At the time, they didn't give any RFE on birth certificate. But again, a week back, again, they issued another RFE. This time the RFP is on birth certificate and medical as well. So I'm trying to understand what are the documents I need to provide as for the birth certificate. I'm thinking of birth certificate and non-availability certificate to get from my panchayati. So anything more other than these two documents for the birth certificate RFP?
Sure. So in your case, since you don't have the birth certificate available, the mandatory document is your Form 10. Form 10, that non-availability of birth certificate. So that Form 10 is mandatory. Along with that, what I always do is always use at least one or two affidavits. And then along with that also, I mean, it's a good idea to provide some secondary evidence like your school certificates, like your 10th class certificates that show your date of birth, along with your passport and all these other documents that show your date of birth. But the mandatory document is your non-availability certificate, which is your Form 10, the Form 10 that you get from the local government authority back home. So that document, along with any secondary evidence, normally I'll always use an affidavit because that is very important. Always use your school records because your school records are records from a very long time back showing your birth, and then your passport. Okay. So once you use your non-availability certificate, the Form 10, along with the secondary evidences, that is more than enough. I've never seen anybody have an issue with those.
Yes, and to add on, when I try to get the school record school, but almost 30, 35 years back, they don't have any data at the time we joined the school. They couldn't able to locate any of the school records, but I have the the FT, the 10th class certificate is there. So you do suggest to provide that
That's it.
certificate along with the birth certificate.
Yeah, that's what I use. Your 10th certificate from India, it'll have your date of birth listed on it. So if you use your 10th certificate, that is more than enough.
Okay. So do you guys want to ask any Aadhaar card or anything like that, or is it not required?
I mean, if you have Aadhaar card, I would definitely put it, because a lot of people don't have Aadhaar, and then what they do is they put their passport. But if you have Aadhaar, that's also a very good idea to put your Aadhaar card, showing that there's another national ID that can be used as a secondary evidence, because this is all secondary evidence. And for primary, you're anyway using that Form 10 non-availability of birth certificate.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you, Nick, for taking class.
Thank you so much,
Sure, thank you.
Hari from Chicago. It was really lovely having you. And of course, Attorney Chand as well for taking it up. Join us again if you have any more questions. So, folks out there, you can also join us just like Hari from Chicago. And all you have to do is dial the number which you can see on the screen above. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So join us and feel free to ask your questions. And especially if they're detailed and you need more explanatory answers, it's better to join us on call. And Karthik, lovely to see you with your question. We are going to take it up in a short while. There are two questions. So yeah, we are going to address it, but stay with us for now. And that's where we end part 3. Catch part 4 of Immigration Talk Show in our next upload.